For years now, there's been one key thing keeping open format DJs tied to their laptops. And of course, I'm talking about stem separation. No matter how good standalone gear has gotten, if you wanted that real-time ability to separate stems, you'd need a computer. But with Engine DJ 5.0, that has just changed because for the first time, you can render stems directly on a standalone system. Let's take a look. So Engine DJ 5.0 brings about some other updates such as improved UI and such, but of course, the big one is those onboard stems. So now on the Rane System One, you can find a track in your library, swipe left, hit stems, and that is going to start rendering right there on the device. And this isn't sort of some slow offline process, it's actually rendering in the background while you're playing. So you can continue to DJ and play out while it renders, you can continue to queue tracks, and even go ahead and render full playlists or multiple tracks at once. So you could literally turn up to your set, do all of your stems work there and then whilst you're DJing, which is quite cool. Having said all that though, in terms of speed, it's definitely not instant. It is fast enough to realistically be using mid-set, depending on the track, but if we scroll up here, this track here, I've probably queued up about 2 minutes, 3 minutes ago, something like that, and we're just about to hit 70%. So it is a kind of 3 or 4 minute process, depending again on the track, but it is worth noting that once you've done it once, that is then saved to your drive. So the next time that you load that track, your stems are going to be there instantly. So you only need to do this one time. Like I say though, it is important to note that you will need a USB of some sort connected so that those stems are saved. But once they're saved, they are going to stay there. So even if you power off the unit and turn it back on, you don't need to reanalyze those tracks again. Now, these stems capabilities are only available on the Rane System One right now, but for the rest of the Engine ecosystem, you can still use those stems. You just need to make sure that they're pre-rendered first. And if you're an Engine user, you've probably noticed that updates from Engine have been a little bit slower recently, but you've also probably guessed that that was due to the launch of this Rane System One. And Engine have said that things should start picking up again very soon. But it's very clear that with this software update and with the launch of the System One, Engine have set down a really exciting and solid framework for what's to come next. So now that that's had a bit of time to render, let's actually go ahead and load in a track and see how clean these stems actually sound. So if you go to playlist, we've got this stems playlist here with this little icon. So this is where everything that you've rendered on board is going to appear. So this is all the stuff that I've rendered so far. We'll go ahead and load in this house tune. And we'll just skip on a little bit, maybe a bit more into the chorus. So we've got a few different ways that we can control these stems, like down here. Up here, we can change the EQs to stem level controls. And then on the performance pads, we've got this stem option here. So let's start here. We've got 4 different options, just like before: vocal, bass, melody, and drums. So if we go ahead and just listen to each individually. Not much in terms of melody. Bass sounds clean, and then drums. Really nice and clean. And then actually underneath, instead of, if you were mixing, instead of just taking away one of them like this, you've got the option to press the pad underneath. We just go back a little bit and kind of echo out, so you get this kind of effect. Let's load one in with a little bit more melody so we can have a listen to how that sounds. What about this? Skip on a little bit.
Come on.
So again, let's just have a listen individually.
You can have it your way. How do you want it? You gon' back that thing up, or should I push up on it? Temperature rising, okay. You can have. I'll be an info in a hotel or in the back of the rental, on the beach or in the park. It's whatever you into. Got the magic stick. I'm the love doctor. How your fans teasing you about how I sprung? I got no problem. Get on top. Get to bounce around like a low rider. I'm a seasoned vet when it comes to this shit. After you work up a sweat, you can play with the stick. I'm trying to explain, baby, the best way I can. I melt in your mouth, girl, not in your hand. Lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot.
So as well as these pads here, we've got these kind of quick tools here for either instrumental or a cappella. And then up at the top here, we've got these stem level controls. So so we can control the levels of each of those stems as well. Not too much of a problem on this track, but just be aware that up here on the stem level controls, your bass and melody that we've got down here are just on this mid EQ here. So this is all super impressive, but the real question that it brings about is how much does this actually change things? And honestly, that's where it gets really interesting, because remember that this is the first time that you can now properly do open format DJing, incorporating those stems all on a standalone system. So mashups, live edits, all of that without touching a laptop, without any extra setup, without even having to do any prep on a laptop, or just on one device. And that's got to be seen as a pretty big shift. And it could seriously change the way that open format DJs approach their performances, and it could seriously change loads of things about our current workflow. So what about everything else? As I said earlier, this update isn't just about stems. It actually improves the whole ecosystem. First off, visuals. RGB waveforms are now available across all Engine devices, which is going to make it way easier to read your tracks in depth. Then moving on to library workflow, you can now rate tracks on the star rating system directly on the hardware. This is going to be a huge bonus if you're managing your library mid-set. On top of that, the source menu has also been redesigned, so switching between drives, streaming, and playlists is now way faster. In terms of performance tweaks, there are some smaller improvements here too. For example, we now have a 32-beat reverb available, which is going to work over those longer phrases. And overall, the tweaks to the UI just make the whole experience of using Engine feel cleaner, tighter, and quicker. For lighting setup, the software has had an upgrade there too. So now we have better integration and also the addition of Crossfader based response. Finally, and this one's really cool, if you're coming from another platform such as Rekordbox or Serato, there's now an import assistant within Engine, which makes moving your library over a lot easier. So yeah, Engine DJ 5.0 is a free update available now. But the real question is this update finally enough to leave the laptop at home? This update really does feel like things are starting to move in an exciting direction. It definitely doesn't feel like a one-off. It feels more like the start of what is next. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, go ahead and click on this video right here.